Welcome to Corvette Today, the podcast that talks about everything Corvette, with your host Steve Garrett, MC and DJ at one of the largest Corvette weekends in the country, Corvette Fun Fest, president of the Corvette Club of Kansas City, Missouri, and radio disc jockey at the #1 radio station in Kansas City for over 40 years. Here's Steve Garrett.
Thanks for listening and watching Corvette Today, the show that talks about everything Corvette, and the only current podcast dedicated to Corvette. I'm your host, Steve Garrett. I appreciate you tuning in. Corvette Today is brought to you by Wheelcraft. Want to dress up your Corvette with bright chrome or black chrome wheels? Visit wheelcraft.com and learn about their advanced PVD chrome finishing. They can refinish your wheels or offer a wheel exchange for most models, and it comes with a 5-year warranty. Visit wheelcraft.com today or call 833-840-5334. You can listen to Corvette Today on all podcast platforms. You can also listen on your smart device. Just say, "Hey Google" or "Alexa, play the podcast called Corvette Today," and you're connected. Be sure and visit the updated Corvette Today website. It's CorvetteToday.com. You can also access everything there, including the Corvette Today merchandise store. You can also join the Corvette Today Facebook group there and sign up for Corvette Today emails, notifications, and updates at corvettetoday.ck.page. And if you like YouTube, you can subscribe to the Corvette Today YouTube channel. See all Corvette Today episodes on YouTube. And be sure and patronize our flagship sponsors of Corvette Today, Aerolarri Wheels, a true forged wheel with over 20 different unique styles to choose from for your C8 and wide-body versions of the C7, C6, and C5 Corvettes. It's an amazing value, starting at only $23.88 for a set of 4 fully forged wheels. And use the promo code CT111 and get $100 off your purchase. Visit aerolarri.com, that's AEROLARRI.com, and use the promo code CT111 for your $100 discount. Also, midenginecorvetteforum.com, the forum that focuses on the new mid-engine C8 Corvette. Meet a lot of Corvette enthusiasts like yourself at midenginecorvetteforum.com. And a shout out to Corvette Forum and Canadian CorvetteForum.com, welcoming Corvette enthusiasts from around the world. It's time to bring you the latest Corvette news and headlines with my buddy Keith Cornett from CorvetteBlogger.com. Keith is here twice per month, about every other week. We keep you current and up to date on what's happening with America's sports car. Keith, welcome back to the show. Is it springtime yet?
Well, Florida in February, it feels like spring here. We've had Chamber of Commerce weather. It looks like another great day today. This is why we live in Florida, is what I always say.
That's exactly right. Well, we're getting there in Kansas City. It's been a mild winter, but I can't wait for springtime.
Well, I just heard about a recent ice storm, so I know you're probably waiting to get that new 70th anniversary Corvette out.
Absolutely right. I've been chomping at the bit, buddy. I don't even have 1,000 miles on it yet, but at least I've gotten past the 500-mile break-in period, so that's a good thing.
That's a good thing.
All right, let's start off, as we always do, with the latest Corvette production update from the Bowling Green Assembly Plant.
Yeah, Corvette Stingray counts just continue to be strong. We could actually surpass 25,000 on the VIN count at the end of this week. And that's just for the regular Stingray. So, I mean, they're really banging them out. We also should surpass 2,500 70th anniversary Corvette Stingrays. So that's 27,500 Stingrays for 2023, and they're not done yet. So, yeah, these Stingray production numbers are really climbing. Very excited to see that. We've talked about Z06 production still ramping up. The good news is that over the last 2 weeks, we've seen more than 125 Z06s produced per week. Our chart runs a few days behind, but we're starting this week. I think we'll have an estimated 850 regular Z06s completed and about 125 or so 70th anniversary Corvette Z06s completed. Right there, we're just under 1,000 Z06s total for 2023. That's actually not even counting the number of CTF cars that are out there either that might end up going to dealers as well. It's interesting for 2023, Z06 production could really surprise us. I think right now we're looking at they're building about 500 per month, which means over the remaining production for the model year, we could see 3,000, maybe over 3,000, 3,500 Z06s.
Wow.
We're not out of the woods, but it certainly feels like we're picking up steam. Things are moving well. We've gone a few weeks without any kind of production snafus or anything like that. Supply chain seems to be holding. So let's keep our fingers crossed and keep building Corvettes.
And Bowling Green set a new record for Z06 production back on Tuesday, the 24th of January, too.
Yeah, that's right. January 24th. We saw 32 Z06s built during the 2 shifts. So they did 24 regular Z06s and 8 70th anniversaries during that workday. It looks like they worked a little bit longer. We hear the counts are somewhere around 194 to 200 is what they do during the shifts. They did 196 that day, and the Z06 production accounted for just over 16% of those cars. That's really good news. I'm cautiously optimistic, Steve.
That's great. That's good news. I'm glad to hear it. And this is something, Keith, that affected me personally. General Motors is going to reimburse 70th anniversary owners if they were double charged for bright red brake calipers instead of having the edge red brake calipers. I called my dealership. They said, yep, you're on the list, and I got my check.
Well, that's great. Yeah, so I guess what had happened was people noticed the double charge. And if you recall, last summer, there was a fire at the vendor plant that makes edge red paint. And so General Motors had to swap out the edge red brake calipers for the bright red on their 70th anniversary packages. That's what I heard about this story. I was like, I wonder if this is related to the 70th anniversaries because they had to switch to the bright red, and GM with their billing and all that stuff, that just slipped through and it got an extra charge on there. Nice to know someone that actually had that done. I'm glad you got your check already.
Yeah.
I always say check the receipts and make sure that you're only paying for what you got.
Check your sticker, see if that charge is on there, contact your dealership. I got a check from the dealership itself. There was a question of, well, should we just put it back into the loan? They said, no, we're going to give you a check, and I got a check for $595. So I'm a happy camper, that's for sure. Also, Chevrolet Canada is going to get the E-Ray, and their starting price is $128,800.
Yeah, that's a pretty strong price. That's for the 1LZ E-Ray. They did not release anything on the 2LZ or the 3LZ or anything else, just the starting base price. Canada, they also have a destination fee that's higher than ours. Ours is $13.95. They pay $22.95 as a destination freight charge.
Ooh. And
then they also have taxes. They get like $100 for an air conditioning tax, $700 in dealership fees. While that sounds expensive, and we're all going on top of that $128,798, but Canada's got this new luxury tax on cars over $100,000. So you add 10% of the cost of the car on top of that. The E-Ray is going on sale in Canada. It's going to be a little bit pricey.
And Mexico is getting lucky. They're getting Z06s as well.
Not only are they getting the Z06, their model there that they're going to sell is the coupe with the Z07 performance package as standard.
Wow.
They're going to get the big wing and all the fun stuff there. And then there's also an optional 70th anniversary special edition that they can get as well. The standard Z06 model with the Z07 is going to sell for 3.7 million pesos,
Ooh.
which is $194,600 USD at our current exchange rates. And then the 70th anniversary special edition will be even higher. That's 3.79 million pesos, or just over $200,000 American. Also, the first market outside the United States and Canada to get the new supercar. We assume from there it's going to end up over in the Middle East and then Europe and down in the Southern Pacific with New Zealand and Australia. I call it the World Domination Tour because everywhere we go in these markets, it's new for the car. There's just so much excitement over it. And we got racing going on in these different markets as well. It's really a good thing to see these cars sell. I know a lot of people say, they should take care of the United States market first. And yeah, there's a little bit of that. I mean, the numbers that we're exporting aren't huge numbers anyway. So it's just a way to get these cars into different markets and support the enthusiasts that are there.
That's right. Also, I love this, Keith. There's a new carbon flash stripe option that's coming for next year's Corvette. It looks awesome.
It does. We actually found this one playing on the E-Ray visualizer. I've built like 100 cars on the visualizer, and I joked that I must have unlocked an achievement level or something because all of a sudden I'm seeing new stripes. So the E-Ray's got this special stripe called electric blue, and it's different than the current racing stripes because it comes down. There's a little bit of a point to it. It's got the blue in the middle, and then it's got an accent color on the outside. These new ones are all carbon flash metallic as the base color, and then on the edges of the stripes, there's 5 different accent colors you can get. They look really, really nice. The 5 colors are blue, yellow, orange, red, and silver. It's also different on the back. The current stripe, as it goes along the back, it goes over the spoiler and then down all the way to the black fascia where the exhaust is. Now, this one just stops right there at the third brake light. It's a good-looking stripe. We did a number of different colors to try to match it to like interiors and seatbelts. You can really have a lot of fun with it.
It looks good, buddy.
They're nice stripes. Yeah, I like them.
Absolutely. Well, let's take our first break, Keith. When we come back, it's Corvette Racing and Corvette Rumors here on Corvette Today.
We all know that wheels make the car. Wheelcraft will help you take your Corvette to new levels. Wheelcraft offers the world's best PVD chrome finish available on the market. Available in bright chrome and black chrome. Wheelcraft nails it in both appearance and durability, and it comes with a 5-year warranty against brake dust burns, pitting, peeling, and color delamination. Wheelcraft is also ISO certified. Whether you're having your wheels refinished or an exchange transaction, there is no core fee, no deposit, and you don't pay for the finished wheels until they are installed on your car. Wheelcraft insists on complete satisfaction before you pay. Hear from one of our customers.
I picked up a brochure at the National Corvette Museum and we took delivery of our new C8. I called Wheelcraft, and in 15 minutes, I ordered the new bright ice chrome wheels. Wheelcraft's follow-up and follow-through is superb. The wheels arrived on Sunday, installed on Monday, and cores will return same day. The wheels are the highest quality I've ever seen, and they look awesome. Great prices, great customer service from initial contact to installation.
Thanks, Dennis from Nashville. In many cases, Wheelcraft offers finished wheels on exchange or will apply this new finish to your wheels. Either way, Wheelcraft treats your wheels as their own. Visit our website at wheelcraft.com or call us at 833-840-5334. Arrive in style with Wheelcraft.
The Radiator Grill Store offers protection for your C8's front radiators and side intakes. They also carry front strut tower covers to prevent rusting and pooling water, all with do-it-yourself installation. Get 10% off your total purchase with promo code CT10. See the full line of products at radiatorgrillstore.com.
When you want to buy a Corvette, or any Chevrolet for that matter, get yours from Hendrick Chevrolet Shawnee Mission, located in Kansas City. Hendrick Chevrolet is the largest Corvette dealership and showroom in the Midwest. With a knowledgeable sales staff and Corvette sales specialists on hand, they'll help you build the Corvette of your dreams, and they ship nationwide. With Corvette certified master mechanics on site and a huge parts department with over 24,000 parts and $2 million in inventory, Hendrick Chevrolet is well equipped to take care of your every need. From sales to service to collision repair, Hendrick Chevrolet has you covered. Visit ChevyUSA.com or call 913-384-1550.
American Hydrocarbon is your one-stop shop for custom interior, exterior, and engine bay items for your C4 through C8 Corvette. We can help you create a custom look for your Corvette with carbon fiber or 10 different color patterns and styles. Whether it's a custom-made engine cover for your new C8 or custom-made C4 interior upgrades, American Hydrocarbon can help you transform your Corvette into a best-in-class show car. And now we're proud to announce that we can produce and distribute officially licensed GM products for the C8 Corvette, including front splitters, side skirts, engine appearance panels, engine fluid caps, door holders, trunk and front props, and more. Plus, we now carry the C8 Speedline side skirts, along with the engine appearance package and the high wing. Give us a call at 813-476-5638. Visit our updated website at AmericanHydrocarbon.com or email us at pat@AmericanHydrocarbon.com. Make your Corvette the car you've always wanted it to be with American Hydrocarbon.
And now, back to the only current podcast on Corvettes, Corvette Today, with your host, Steve Garrett.
Hey, thanks for listening and watching Corvette Today, the show that talks about everything Corvette. Brought to you by Wheelcraft. Want to dress up your Corvette with bright chrome or black chrome wheels? Visit wheelcraft.com and learn about their advanced PVD chrome finishing. They can refinish your wheels or offer a wheel exchange for most models, and it comes with a 5-year warranty. Visit wheelcraft.com today or call 833-840-5334. I'm your host, Steve Garrett. With me is Keith Cornett from CorvetteBlogger.com. We keep you current and up to date on what's happening in the world of America's sports car. In this second segment, we talk about Corvette racing and Corvette rumors. Keith, we had our first race at Daytona for the 24 hours. How did Corvette racing fare in that race?
Wow, that was an exciting race. We came in second in our GTD Pro class. If you stayed up and watched it, there was some drama, especially overnight if you would have stayed up. We went down 2 laps in the middle of the night. We had a flat tire. They also decided to do a brake change. But yeah, when I got up in the morning, we were running first or second, it seemed like. The final battle came down to the number 3 Corvette, the number 14 Lexus, and the number 79 Mercedes. And it was the Mercedes that would grab the win. It was a fun race to watch. The Corvette really had the speed on the banks and on the ovals, but not so much in the interior of the road course. And that's where the other cars always kind of pull away just a little bit or not allow us to close it. We'd close on them on the banks, and then they'd get away from us on the infield again. Great race, though. Hats off to the team. Second place is a great way to start the season. A lot of racing to go here. Yep, I'd say we're on our way.
I think so, too. Second place is not bad to start the season. I'll take it. Also, I was real excited about this. I love this car from the get-go. The Z06 GT3.R officially debuted on Friday, January 27th, and it ain't cheap either.
No, it's not. So Laura Clauser and other GM bigwigs. We had Chevrolet Global Design Manager Phil Zach. GM President Mark Royce was there. They're all at the Daytona International Speedway the day before the Rolex 24. And they did the big reveal, pulled the cover off, and there's the car. This is a car that utilizes the Z06 production frame and other components straight out of Bowling Green. And it's all built to these global GT3 specifications. So wherever GT3 cars are allowed, this Corvette car should be ready to race there. Teams had to fill out a questionnaire, and Chevy says they're still going through, and they're looking for racers and teams who will compete professionally in the car. And they haven't announced teams yet, but we do know that the cost of the car is going to be $735,000. Big chunk of change there, but you know what they say about racing. If you want to make a little money in racing, you start with a lot. Chevrolet revealed its plans also for 2024. Corvette Racing will be competing in both IMSA and the World Endurance Championship with the Z06 GT3R. The plan is that they think that IMSA will have up to 4 GT3R entries running in both the pro class and the amateur class, and then another 2 more will be competing in the FIA WEC. And they want 2 cars there because that's how you get your double entry into the 24 Hours of Le Mans. That's the thinking there. Again, they're still lining up some teams. There's been some talk about who might be some teams. They'll probably have that sorted here in the next few months. And oh, by the way, following the Rolex 24, Corvette Racing was back on the track with the Z06 GT3R, and they were testing it there on the high banks at Daytona. Also being tested there was that NASCAR 56 car again, which is going to be racing at Le Mans this year. It's like an exhibition car. Corvette Racing's doing some stuff there. In fact, I thought this was funny. Jordan Taylor is doing some consulting with the drivers there on that car. He showed up wearing a shirt that said Coach on it, so I thought that was pretty funny. You know, the drivers are Jimmy Johnson and Mike Rockefeller, I believe. There's another guy I'm not thinking of, but these are all professional drivers. They don't really need coaching, so to speak, but Jordan Taylor being the funny guy.
That's great. In the rumors category, Keith, GM is going to be gearing up for a new 6th generation small block V8 engine, and this is really specifically more for SUVs and trucks, isn't it?
It is, but anytime you hear an announcement of a new generation of engines, I still think that's just good news for the market and the industry. And they're going to invest like $1 billion. 4 facilities are going to get this money. This is the 6th generation of small blocks. Like you said, they're aimed for the GM trucks and SUV lineups, but we have no details yet on exactly which cars or trucks they're going to go into. As we said, this is obviously good news. The real question is, will there be any plans to extend the Gen 6 small blocks to Corvettes? The LT2 is a 5th generation small block. They're always coming up with new ways to save fuel, more power, make the engines more compact and more efficient. You never know what they can come up with, and there might just be something there for Corvette down the road. We don't know that for sure, but you just can't put it past the guys, Jordan Lee and Dustin and the other guys up there at the small block building these engines. And anytime we hear ICE engines being scheduled for production, that's a good thing.
That's a good thing for sure. Also, we heard about a rumor of the E-Race top speed being 180 miles per hour.
Yeah, we caught this at the end of last week. YouTuber iJustine is a technology YouTuber. She's got like 7 million subscribers, and she's had over 1 billion views on her channel. My daughter used to watch her back in the day. That's how I knew about her. And then all of a sudden I saw her standing in front of the E-Ray. I thought, oh, this would be interesting. So she saw it out at the Peterson, and she interviews Aaron Link and Kirk Benyon, who were out there. As she's standing next to Kirk, she says, oh, and the Corvette E-Race top speed is 180 miles per hour. Kirk was right there. He didn't dispute it. We're assuming that that's what he told her. The non-Z51 Stingray is capable of 194, and the Z51, I believe, is at 186. So we're at 180. You know, obviously, we've got a different car with the wide body, and of course, we've got the extra weight of the batteries, you know, an extra 300 pounds there. 180 seems doable. It might be a little bit lower than what we were hoping for, but when's the last time you were 180, Steve?
Exactly. We're not going to use that speed anyway. It's like 0 to 60. It's bragging rights. We're not going to worry about that, you know?
Right.
So it's top speed. Also, I was glad to see this. GM expects to return to full production this year, buying 400 automotive transports as well. It looks like the guys that they contract with is going to be going away then, aren't they?
Actually, no, you know, Jack Cooper does the shipping for Corvettes. This is in addition to. So what they found was that they had all these cars that they were making, but they were missing parts. So they had almost 500,000 cars that were missing parts, and a lot of those cars had to be stored. So they got the parts, they got them in the cars, but then there was no available transports to ship them. So they bought 400 transports, and so that way they're not a slave to the shipping industry, and then they have their own fleet where if they've got to move some vehicles from one place to another, they've got the means to do it themselves. It was Scott Bell, who's Chevrolet's vice president, believes that a lot of the constraints that we've been seeing are actually going to be going away during 2023. They've really been working on opening up the supply chain. We're seeing some results here, which we're going to talk about in just a couple minutes with Z06. But they think that stuff's really going to start to happen well in 2023, and they're all gearing up for it. We call it a rumor because you never know what's going to happen to the supply chain. But again, just another great indication that this is shaping up to be a great year.
Absolutely. Keith, let's take our final break. When we come back, it's the lighter side of Corvette here on Corvette Today.
Are you ready for a better insurance policy without the Corvette tax? With Agreed Value Protection, the value of your collector vehicle will never change. Plus, you'll save money. Get a quick quote at ncminsurance.com.
Yogi Berra once said, if you don't know where you're going, you'll probably end up there. At True Wealth & Company, we take that to heart. See, at True Wealth & Company, we believe your retirement lifestyle travels through two doors. Door number one, the blue door, gives you more options, financial freedom. Your money outlives you. Every happiness you wish for in life is through the blue door. Door number two, the red door, is where you outlive your money. You rely on family, friends, or even the state to take care of you. At True Wealth & Company, we're not just financial planners. The best way to walk through the blue door is to have a written plan. Make a work-optional lifestyle a reality with our proprietary True Life Map formula. Look towards your future with anticipation, not apprehension. Having a rock-solid fiduciary partner like True Wealth & Company is essential to effective financial planning. There's no winging it. There's nothing left to chance. Look, we don't want you to become another Yogi Berra-ism. Give us a call today at 913-653-TRUE. Visit us online at retirewithtrue.com. Start your financial independence and work-optional lifestyle today.
913-653-8783. Visit us online at retirewithtrue.com. Investment advice offered through True Wealth & Company, LLC, a registered investment advisor in the state of Kansas.
VetFinders.com is the Internet's original Corvette classified ads website, with classified ads starting at just $25. And every ad runs until your Corvette is sold. If you're in the market for a Corvette, VetFinders.com has over 500 Corvettes for sale from all around the USA and Canada and covering all 8 generations. Visit VetFinders.com, the Internet's destination for buying and selling Corvettes. That's VETTE Finders.com.
You're enjoying the only current podcast on Corvettes, Corvette Today.
Hey, thanks once again for listening and watching Corvette Today, the show that talks about everything Corvette. Brought to you by Wheelcraft. Want to dress up your Corvette with bright chrome or black chrome wheels? Visit Wheelcraft.com and learn about their advanced PVD chrome finishing. They can refinish your wheels or offer a wheel exchange for most models, and it comes with a 5-year warranty. Visit Wheelcraft.com today or call them 833-840-5334. I'm your host, Steve Garrett. With me is Keith Cornett from CorvetteBlogger.com. Don't forget, if you want a deeper dive into any of these stories we cover on today's show, you can always go to CorvetteBlogger.com. In this final segment, we always talk about the lighter side of Corvette. Keith, I thought this is awesome. Finally, the Z06 high wing availability is coming back around, and it's going to be available for most people, but there is a catch, isn't there?
There's always a catch, Steve. We got to know that by now. But speaking to the positivity, the good vibes we're getting from some of this news, we had a surprise Z06 order cycle at the last week of January. It wasn't planned. Back at the end of 2022, they said the next Z06 order cycle would be in February. So we got a surprise one in January. Since the first allocations came out last August, we've always seen the Z06's high wing at 100% constraint, zero availability nationwide. So when we get the constraint reports, I'm actually calling up different dealers and trying to figure out what we got, because the dealers are getting different reports from each other. They don't just get one report and it's a standard one. So from 4 different constraint reports, we saw that there were actually 75 TOF, the carbon flash high wings, and 54 TOGs, which are the visible carbon fibers. The catch is, though, to make the Z07, you also have to have the ground effects. These are the splitters and the rockers. That's the CFZ and the CMV ground effects.
Gotcha.
That's actually what was stopping dealers from submitting Z07 orders last week. We only showed 20 CFZ carbon flash ground effects and zero availability on the visible carbon fiber ground effects. So if you have zero availability, you're not being able to place that order. But the fact that we're starting to see numbers show up here tells us that there was a number of orders back again in December of Z07 people that were pushed back into February. And so we think that they have quantities of these now, and they're going to those people that ordered that first order cycle, maybe the second order cycle. Really good news there to see the product that's actually available. It might not be able to be available yet, but boy, we are so close, I think. And I'm really hoping next month's order cycle we'll really see some movement with the Z07 again.
Me too. That would be great. Also, this is so cool, Keith. A 1969 Corvette ZL1 sold at Sotheby's auction for $3.14 million.
Yeah, this was the orange 1969 ZL1 convertible. Only two were made. Only one was a convertible. There's some questions about this car. It does have a ton of paperwork with it. It's been around for a while. People do know it, but there's this outstanding questions on, I don't want to say the legitimacy of the car, but whether or not it was actually one of the two production ZL1s. These organizations like Bloomington Gold and NCRS, Bloomington Gold has judged the car. They gave it Bloomington Gold status. The NCRS has not judged the car. I don't know why that hasn't happened. A car this important, it would seem to me you want to bring in all the experts as you can and really try to nail down the authenticity of it.
Right.
In the meantime, the buyer thought it was real because he paid $2.85 million for it, and then with the commission, the total sales price was $3.14 million. This is actually the third highest selling Corvette at auction, and it's the highest selling C3 that we've seen so far. Strong price for a very rare car. We could just get some of those pesky questions answered, it'd be really worth celebrating, I think.
Definitely. Also, this is amazing, Keith. You correct me if I'm wrong, but McMulkin was now taking E-Ray deposits as of February 1st. Weren't there people waiting overnight to get their deposits in?
Yeah, so here's how they did it. We look back at what Ciocca did last year when they opened up their list for the Z06. And I don't use the fiasco term lightly, but it was a fiasco. You had people that were at the dealership, and then you also had people that were sending wire transfers. So everything was done based on when that deposit was made. And the people that were able to make the wire transfers just jumped ahead of all these people that were waiting in line and waited overnight. What McMulkin did was a little bit different. They said no wires. We're going to have in-person deposits. You can also send by mail, but we're not going to tell you what the deposit amount is until the day before. So on January 31st, they came out and said deposit amount's going to be $4,000. Here's the process for mailing it if you want to mail it. If you want to be there in person, we're opening the doors at this time. But then the weather was really horrible up there. It was kind of cold. So what they did was basically like a early check-in. So on the 31st, the day before, they actually opened the dealership from 7 to 9, took people's names and numbers and that kind of thing. So that way they wouldn't have to stand out in the cold all night. We saw some pictures. There were some good crowds there. There were probably well over 100 people Tuesday night at the dealership waiting for the Wednesday morning to open. So what they did was they opened the doors. People filed through. They made their deposits. I talked to one guy who took some pictures. He's number 81 on the list there. And then the mail came in too. The problem was that for people that were sending mail, especially like overnight stuff, a lot of the FedEx packages, people send FedEx, they send UPS. The UPS people got there like at 7:39 in the morning, so they're all happy. But the FedEx people, a lot of their tracking showed that their checks were stuck in Kansas City because of some ice storm. The fact that they took the in-person deposits, I think, says a lot because dealerships serve their local communities first, the people that are coming in. Obviously, McMulkin wants the opportunity to service those cars, maybe sell accessories and upgrades for those cars. Working with that local community is obviously very important for them. They had people show up from all over too. California, Florida, flew in to be there as part of that.
Wow.
And again, that just makes it fun. And for them too, they're now the world's largest Corvette dealership. So this is new for them as well as what people are expecting from them, what they need to do to make sure that they live up to their commitments to the customers. I don't know how many they took deposit-wise, but they sell a lot of Corvettes. Hopefully, people won't be on that list for years and years like we saw with Z06.
Exactly. Boy, you'd think that we're lining up for a Taylor Swift concert or something.
You're right.
Our final story, Keith, this was a great behind-the-scenes video of the Corvette assembly plant done by a group called Savage Geese on YouTube.
Yeah, Savage Geese is basically an auto reviewer channel, but they just go so in depth. And their Z06 auto review is one of the best that came out. One of the main hosts, his name's Jack, he actually bought a Z06. His car was one of the first, I think, 30 or 40 cars to be built. And GM allowed him to be in the plant as the car was going down the assembly line. He was able to film. He was able to talk to people. They put together this documentary that is very well done, the highest production standards that anybody I've seen out of the plant coming there. It's like a television show. I would definitely recommend, if you got YouTube on your TV, watch it on your TV so you can see everything nice and big, because it's a great documentary on the making of the Corvette at the Corvette assembly plant. Go watch it right now. It's that good.
It is that good. It really is. Buddy, thanks for being on Corvette Today. As always, take care of yourself. We'll see you in 2 weeks.
Well, thank you, Steve. We're looking forward to it. Got all kinds of good stuff coming up here. February is shaping up to be a busy month like they always are. We'll see you on the roads. Keep waving and keep visiting CorvetteBlogger for all of the latest news and updates.
Thanks for listening to Corvette Today, and please be sure to tell your family, friends, and other Corvette enthusiasts about the Corvette Today podcast. And thanks to our sponsors, Wheelcraft. Want to dress up your Corvette with bright chrome or black chrome wheels? Visit wheelcraft.com to learn about their advanced PVD chrome finishing. They can refinish your wheels or offer a wheel exchange for most models, and it comes with a 5-year warranty. Visit wheelcraft.com today or call 833-840-5334. American Hydrocarbon at AmericanHydrocarbon.com. True Wealth & Company at RetireWithTrue.com. Also, Aerolarri Wheels. Get $100 off your purchase with the new promo code CT111 at Aerolarri.com. And Hendrick Chevrolet in Kansas City at ChevyUSA.com.
You've been listening to Corvette Today with Steve Garrett. If you'd like to contact Steve with any thoughts on the podcast or ideas for guests on Corvette Today, you can email him at stevegarrettdj@gmail.com. That's stevegarrettdj@gmail.com. Garrett has 2 R's and 2 T's. Or connect with Steve on social media on Facebook, Twitter, or Instagram using @SteveGarrettDJ. Thanks again for listening to Corvette Today.